Always follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
This hour sponsored by Better. Better picks the daily fantasy sports app where your sports knowledge turns into real cash fast. Download Better or visit betterapp.app now. Sign up today, get a free $10, no deposit necessary. Get Better now, BETR.app, BETR.
In this hour, we'll touch on some Major League Baseball games coming up a little bit later on tonight. Richie Baccellieri on the program, bottom of the hour. His numbers have been terrific in college football this year. He's with Circa Sports in Pocket Plays as well. You're going to hear from Frank B coming up as well here momentarily. He was on the show yesterday, professional gambler, so good. If you missed yesterday's program, I highly recommend you go back and check it out. You can always listen to the Follow the Money podcast wherever you get your podcasts. I'll give you this to pay off the tease at vsin.com. Some nuggets on here that really are sticking out this week. First of all, favorites of 6+ points this year, Pauly, are 7-0 this season in the league. No dog has won as more than a 3.5 point underdog.
You know, that goes back to the run we've been on for quite a while here.
Oh,
remember last year was the year of the favorite.
I saw like a 50-8 trend today on favorites going back to last year, which is just silly.
Yeah. Like if you're laying 6 or more in the NFL going back, I don't know about the cover. You're winning the game, though.
Sure. Now, how about this? And look, I over the years, I have bet on a lot of ugly teams in the National Football League. It has not gone well, like so far this year, obviously, or even like last year, like divisional dogs, automatic look for me. Forget about it, right? But teams that start 0-2 straight up are 31-27 straight up, but more importantly here, 40-17-1 ATS against 1-1 teams in week 3 since 2010. That ATS mark is higher than 70%. So in the write-up that you can get at vsin.com, Mackinnon explained a tidal wave of negativity gets associated with the winless teams after 2 weeks. And while they typically remain bad when matched against undefeated teams, they do perform quite well against middle-of-the-road opponents. In most cases, 1-1 teams have shown early signs of inconsistency, and I don't know any bettors who are actively looking to bet teams like that. So he continues, trust the desperate 0-2 teams will bring their best effort in this week's games, motivated by the fear of going 0-3 and what that has historically meant for a team's playoff chances. That's a good kicker to the paragraph that he wrote. Mm-hmm. You have 4 teams that qualify under the system this week. Carolina now, +6 against Atlanta?
Yeah.
Houston plus the points against Jacksonville. Hold your nose again here. New Orleans plus at Seattle. And then Chicago was between, like earlier today, a 1-point dog and a 1-point favorite to Dallas. That system, typically we get about 4 games per year like this. Last year we had 7, 5-2 straight up in ATS a year ago. So take that for what it's worth. But that's, again, hasn't been pretty going back. But I would look at some of these 0-2 teams this year. Imagine if Houston loses. The desperate, like their season might be over with.
Yeah. They've done it before, but I don't like their chances. And I think the Chargers did it 1 year 0-4.
They did.
I think there was...
they made the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah. And there was someone who was 1-4, I think. It's the same thing with the Chiefs. Go back and look at the list of teams that have started 0-2 and won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, right.
I mean, the Emmitt Smith thing you can't count. He was holding out.
Right.
And then it's only like, I think, 3 teams in history. Or 2 or 3. So what they're up against as well. But, that makes sense, too, with the desperation and season on the line, and especially if you're not only 0-2, but you're catching points in that game.
Sure. Do you feel like laying it with the Chiefs this weekend in that spot? Giants at home Sunday night. They cooked you a couple years ago against the Packers in this spot.
Oh, thanks.
Tommy Cutlets.
Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Was that a big deal to you or no?
Bringing that up.
But remember...
Well, I got to see if Worthy plays, number one. But it's hard to envision them moving the ball on anybody.
That's the thing, right?
If I don't have Worthy.
And this is a team that now going back like more than last year, they've been in all these one-score games. Now they have to win basically by more. They have to win by 7, obviously, to cover one-score game. But you feel comfortable like with them winning by 7 or more? I really don't. Not that I love the Giants, but one more angle here from Mackinnon at vsin.com. Winless teams are 23-35 with one push, straight up, but 39-20 ATS in week 3 when playing as a dog of 3.5 or more points since 2010. That's 66%. Again, you're going to get some ugly teams this week, such as Miami Thursday night, Cleveland against Green Bay, although they're at home, the Jets, the Saints, the Giants, like we talked about, and again, going back to Carolina.
I think it's a push with the news today. No Oliver again, no Milano. Waller's out again, and Waddle's questionable in that game.
Okay. And by the way, here's the overall mark. Only 6 teams since 1980 have reached the playoffs after an 0-3 start.
That's the number.
That's the number.
Strong. Very good. Excellent. We talked about this earlier. The response was great. FTM@vsin.com and also on social media, X. Send them in. We read some of the DMs and also a lot of the tweets and a plethora of emails. Frank B. yesterday on the program, professional bettor, advantage player, on his post-traumatic survivor syndrome.
I'll tell you what, though. Both he and I, we say the same thing every year. We get involved. We're going to do it this year. When the season comes around, yeah, we're in. And then it doesn't take long, and you go, I'm not doing this next year. It's too brutal, especially Survivor, okay? Because, what did it take, 2 weeks? I'm watching, I had Dallas on about half of my stuff, and I'm watching it with my four very old friends, and they have action on the games, but they don't have Survivor. So we're sitting there watching, and we're all like glass half full guys, but when it comes to Survivor, I am glass half empty. It's like you're waiting for the shoe to drop. We develop PTSD, our version of it, which would be post-traumatic survivor disorder. And it's a thing. People have it, and you say, "I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this to myself next year. I'm not going to do it." And then what happens? Springtime rolls around and starts to get, and then Derek, and probably calls his 2 henchmen in there, Jeff and Mike, and say, "Oh, well, how do we get them to play again?" They're all traumatized. Yeah. We had to start giving out condolence packages after week 2 and 3, just because everybody was so upset. What do? Let's make some more guaranteed money. Hey, how about this? How about a $100,000 contest? And you start to forget how bad, getting over it was. It's like, what is it they call when you're it's like a Stockholm syndrome. Mm-hmm. You start to identify with your captor, the one that's causing you the abuse. You go, well, he's not so bad. Derek's a nice guy, and Jeff's one of us. Jeff gets in the Westgate Cup. Sure, we'll do it again, and then the whole cycle starts over again. And it's week 2, and you're going, why am I doing this to myself?
Yeah, it's so good. I know. It's like the cow. You can't let neighbors get behind you. The Cowboys are going to blow this game. And then it's like, okay, well, it's going to be even worse. I'm going to tie, and I'm going to get knocked out as well.
Right.
But it happened to me 2 years ago, and they got you last year as well. You go, well, I took the Giants against Carolina. What am I doing?
Yeah. How about the pass allowed to Wan'Dale Robinson? Uh-huh. He split 2 guys. He's open by 5 yards on both sides. What are you doing? Like, Diggs is watching. I'm like, should I be on him?
Right. How about last year? You had the deep run. I was knocked out week 3.
As many people were.
Because the Bengals got people numerous times. Lose to the Patriots and then lose at home to Daniels when they didn't punt in the Monday night game. And then week 3 was just absolute circus. Tampa at home to Denver, blown out. Deshaun Watson against the Giants, lost. The Bengals go down Monday night. There was another popular team that lost as well. I think the top 4, top 5 selected teams all lost week 3, and that's when you had the condolences packages.
That's very true. Yeah, that Giants loss, I had them against Carolina. They were a 7-point favorite over in Germany. And, man, that was the game sucked. They fumbled right away. They fumbled in overtime to give the game away. Like, they just couldn't move the ball when they were getting penalties. They couldn't stop Bryce Young. That was a 3.5-hour torture session for me. And it took me, I don't know how long to get over it.
Yeah.
And that was the day game. The rest of the day, so I got all these games coming up. It was I was bitter at that point.
That'd be good. That'd be good. Sorry, it'd be good for David Baker Friday too. Yeah. Compare it to when you get knocked out of the main event. Similar feeling.
Oh, but guess what though? I couldn't wait again after that feeling got over me. Took a couple of days, but once it finally passed, I'm like, I can't wait to play again next year.
You didn't answer my question. Would you want plus 450 in play on the Giants?
Well, what is it right now?
Well, when it happened though, they didn't score in the 10th, so Arizona gets the guy on second. If they score, they win. You could get plus 450 on the Giants. Anyways, it's just a small rant. Don't bunt. It's not 1982.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You can't give up an out. Arizona bunts to move the guy up, and then they can't get the next guy grounds out. They get out. Yada, yada, yada. It's 1-0 Giants, 2 on, nobody out. Well, you can't give up an out. You don't do it. It's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. You don't give the team another out, and you decrease your odds of scoring when the guy's on first and you bunt them over to second.
Are you ever okay with bunting? Would you bunt tie game, bottom of the 10th? Now you're the home team. Would you bunt him over the third?
I think it's Rafael Belliard up. I mean, especially if it's a left-handed hitter. I mean, even though you should be able to ground ball to second base, you can't hit a fly ball?
I mean,
at least?
I don't know if I trust the guys to put it where they want to anymore. I really don't. Not that often.
How many guys can bunt? That's the other thing. No one... How many guys can bunt? You don't want sitting there. I'm like a little fungo here, a little bunt action.
That's something I would have no idea. Like, do they still practice it? Do they still teach it? You know, when you'd go to a baseball game years ago, like when I was younger, and you get there early for batting practice, they would all go through like the bunting.
Yeah.
I have no clue if they still do that or not.
All right. Anna, it's a long read. I'll get it coming up. Now that it's wide open.
Now they're breaking it open now?
Now it's wide open. 3-0 Giants.
And what were the Diamondbacks to make the playoffs before this game?
I think it was as low as plus 3-1, I think it came down. 3. Could you imagine if this goes over now? This could be a circus. No score in the 10th? Watch this now.
Giants might go over on their own. All right, we'll update this from a live betting perspective coming up next, and also get into the card, the games that we have later on tonight next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Giants still batting. Score still 3-0 against the Diamondbacks. This would be something here. As you said, if the game would actually go over the total. Looks like the closing number was 9, some spots 8.5. So a long ways to go. But if you're holding on to a ticket with the under on this game, you know how it goes in extra innings.
Yeah.
Again, on X today, very active at VSiN Live, at Mitch Moss Radio, at Pauly Howard. This is from Dustin Sweetelson, who's hosting Cashing Out Sunday through Thursdays now here on VSiN, which is at 8 o'clock on the West Coast, starts at 11 p.m. out on the East Coast. We were talking about the MVP of the American League a little bit earlier, and he tweeted us, Pauly, saying, as a biased Cal Raleigh 30-1 AL MVP ticket holder, I am sick of an award that they purposely named most valuable player and not the best player. Just go to the guy with the best numbers every single year. That speaks to your point. This guy is a platinum Gold Glove winning catcher. And what he has meant to this team overall, I don't know how you can deny that. I mean, this is supposed to be, again, when Ohtani goes out there and pitches and then he bats like that, he's going to be like so difficult to overcome in the National League. The reason why I bet PCA, part of it earlier this year, great offensive season, he was like running away with the best defender, as the best defender in all of baseball. He was killing it in center field, making huge plays every single game. That, to me, could get baked in. This guy, as an elite backstop, has to be part of the whole conversation.
Yeah. At a physically demanding position and the most difficult position to play and to put up those numbers.
So I asked you earlier, would you still take 3-1? You said yes.
Yes. And I also referenced at the top of the show the article from last week, 2 weeks ago, ESPN.com, that they polled these writers and who cover the sport. They said it's going to be Raleigh. It's going to be close, but it's going to be Raleigh because position will carry the day. And they're right.
Okay, let me also throw this in.
I think they're going to be right.
Remember when our buddy Doug Kazarian came on? I don't remember which market he was talking about, but he called award markets. They're all fake markets. Again, this is not a game tonight. This is not the Dodgers laying $1.42.
Right.
Right? And what does your model say? I make it $1.31, so I got to take the Phillies in this game? Whatever. That's not that. You're trying to figure out how these people are actually going to vote on the award. So I think that sports books right now, and this could obviously come down to liability, but I would think that with all those big numbers that were out there on Raleigh, they would probably be bigger losers to Raleigh than Judge. Maybe not because he's a member of the Yankees, but they're probably looking at it and saying, yeah, the guy crushes him in all the metrics and all the advanced analytics that matter nowadays. And we, as a sports book, don't really care about this guy having the best season ever by a catcher. We think that Judge's numbers, like OPS plus, the WRC plus, all that stuff, they're better than Raleigh, so he should probably win the award. But you don't know if voters care about that or this being the best season ever by somebody who plays that position again. Mm-hmm. I can make the same case, I think, for Crochet against Skubal in the American League Cy Young market.
This blackout crap doesn't help either. I'd like to watch the Mariners on a regular basis. I can't do it. A doubleheader on TBS. Padres, Mets, blacked out. Phillies, Dodgers, blacked out. What the hell?
I know.
Why would you want people to watch your sport in Ohtani and get interested? Squeaky bum time here for the Red Sox. Here's the updated numbers. Cleveland is plus 550 to make the playoffs. Boston plus 450 to miss. Mets plus 310 to miss. Mariners 25-1 to miss. Houston 7-1. Texas plus 450 to make. Trying to avoid the sweep tonight in Houston. But Boston now, only two up in the loss column over Cleveland. 2 more with the A's. At Tampa, at Toronto, Detroit at home. Now, Toronto will have the division wrapped up by then. So will Detroit, unless it gets swept here. And they still have 5 left against the Guardians.
I also think Toronto, they have a 4-game lead right now for the overall number 1 seed.
Yeah, but I still think they're going to throw guys at least 5 innings, don't you?
Well, because they probably don't want them to take too many days off. They'll be rusty.
Yeah, to my point, they're going to see Gossman, Bassett, and Scherzer. You probably give them at least 5 innings, though.
Mm-hmm. I wonder how many of the other guys will get a day off.
Good question.
Again, I wouldn't because, hell, you've been playing for 5.5 months now already, and we've seen how teams who coast into the playoffs and get a bye hasn't been too hot for them. Really, last year, obviously okay with the Dodgers winning the World Series and the Yankees getting there with it, but they currently have a 4-game lead over the Tigers for the 1 seed in the American League. And by the way, that is a 6-game lead over the team in the West. But the Tigers probably will need those games.
Yep.
And they have 3 with them. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the Guardians can't lose baseball games. So I know it's a 5.5-game lead right now, and they're playing again tonight. More on that game coming up in a second. But they, first of all, want to win the division and probably get one of the byes as well. I think Flaherty's laying way too big of a number in this game.
I agree. Yep. I was surprised at the price, too. Dodgers, Phillies over. Phillies have played 9 straight overs at 7.5. Luzardo against Snell. Good thing the Rockies beat the Padres last week. I don't know. As I said, I don't know if they win a game the rest of the year. But they have to win 1 more game so they don't break the record set by the White Sox last year. And they close with, I think, the Giants and the Mariners on the road. DeGrom is a favorite in Houston with the season on the line. How about that price? Well, DeGrom against Javier. And I know the freak accident with Alvarez. DeGrom's 135 at DraftKings, 7.5.
So you're very surprised by the number. But I would think, desperation here for the Rangers. You want to talk about a gotta-have-it game. And also, his opposing pitcher here is Javier. And it's not like Hunter Brown, obviously, for the number.
Mm.
Javier got his number somewhere here. Yeah.
13 games over 500 at home, though.
4 earned runs allowed in his last 2 starts. DeGrom, 3 earned allowed in each of his previous 2. Only 2 Ks in his last start, 8 the one before that. They almost came back and won that game last night. That was borderline super dramatic for them.
Yeah.
So they were getting buried and they came back in the late innings. And I'll give you another one, too. Cole Reagans for the Royals.
Now, this is interesting, right?
Yeah.
He hasn't pitched since June 5th. He's going against the hottest team in baseball, and he's favored.
And they have taken a little bit of money in this game because it's higher now than it was with the opening number. But on the flip side, Bryce Miller is going for Seattle. Since May 5th, he's made 9 starts, not a lot there, but 3+ earned in 7 of them, 4+ in 6 of them. Far from great. Dumper's been on fire. 3 home runs last 7 days, now 56 on the year, 9 runs scored. The total's 8.5 here. Are you expecting runs in this game?
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, the tear that they're on All these home runs and what the offense has done. 78 runs and the 21 bombs going back. The offense is deadly and dangerous. But good job last night. But again, do you trust them on the road? They're 20-3 last 23 home games. And they got the huge series on deck against the Astros.
Here's the game I was expecting runs in. You brought it up a minute ago. Phillies and Dodgers. I think we're going to get runs there.
How about the Yankee game, too?
Well, okay,
with this come on. Their bullpen is 8.54 ERA in September.
Yeah.
10-1 lead. They almost blew the game.
Now, you have a bet on the Yankees to win the series.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the last game of that series.
Yeah, it's a rubber game.
I mean, if it gets to the pen and it's like a tie game, you're not going to feel comfortable.
No kidding. It is total non-factor. Totally dismissed them in October, how bad this is. I mean, it's a 2-0 game the other night. They take out Rodon. They bring in Weaver. Next thing you know, it's like 6-7-0. And then at 10-1 in the sixth inning becomes 10-9. If you know sports, it's time to start getting paid for it. Better Picks, the daily fantasy sports app, where your sports knowledge turns into real cash fast. Download the Better app. Pick more or less on your favorite player's stats. Watch the action unfold. If your pick hits, you win. They got an NFL kickoff new user offer. Sign up today, get a free $10 and no deposit necessary. And when you do deposit, you get up to $200 in deposit bonuses. NBA, WNBA, MLB, soccer, UFC, and more. There's always time to have some fun and turn your sports knowledge into cash. Better's also giving you $40 for every friend you try to get to Better Picks. Head over to better.app, BETR, or download Better from the App or Google Play Store. Promo code VSiN for your free $10 and deposit bonus today.
Rich in Canada chiming in. FTM@vsin.com is the email. This is he's featured almost every week in our pizzeria segment because he's really live to these bombs that he has with division parlays in Major League Baseball. He emailed to say, as you guys know, I'm flush with the Jays, Brewers, Phillies, and Mariners in every combo and parlay possible. He did all 4 of them plus the Padres, who were 17-1 in late June.
Yeah.
There's a 5-teamer out there that pays $11,500 to 1. And he added the Padres are taking years off my life nightly. They are.
Yeah. Sitting right there.
I'm not involved on. That to me, I like rooting for that team. I love it when Petco's absolutely, 47,000 people are there and they're going absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
That to me is great baseball. They've been so disappointing. Richie Baccellieri on the program coming up next with Circa Sports. His numbers have been terrific in college football this year. We'll ask for some of his biggest differences, his numbers, and the actual market coming up next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Welcome back. Thanks for watching on YouTube TV, listening on Sirius XM channel 158, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, or any of our great affiliates across the country. Richie Baccellieri joins the program now, longtime odds maker here in Las Vegas. He's with Circa Sports. His college football numbers have been, terrific so far to begin the year. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing good, guys. Glad to be on with my favorite degenerates.
Okay.
You sound great, buddy.
Oh, I feel good.
I love your voice.
Good. Just so you know, I'm working with Circa, but I'm working on a software project, so I'm not actually in the book. I'm just a software guy.
Yeah, but you still make your own numbers.
I do, but I do that for entertainment purposes.
Okay,
only.
so you think... Okay, I should probably preface it by saying that you're actually not making the numbers to help out the guys behind the book here.
I might send them a little bit, but, they take it with a grain of salt. They got their own handicappers up there, and, they just match up. You always want to match up. If you get 4 guys all say the game's 6 and the game's 12, what are you going to do? You're going to take the 12. Okay,
well, let's start with a random game. I missed this on Sunday, evidently. DraftKings opened up Buffalo minus 1.5 against Troy. And what did they open up here at Circa?
Well, I think they opened it. They're going up real early on Sundays. They're putting them up one game at a time. By the time they got to the MAC game, they hung under 3. I saw 1.5 as the opener, but who knows? And then I think Circa opened it better than 10 because the quarterback's out for the other side, right. Troy. Troy comes up with a game against Clemson, right? Mm-hmm. They play Clemson even. They almost beat them. And then last week, there was a lot of money for Troy against Memphis. So this week, the quarterback's out. Circa hangs what they make it. I made the game anywhere from 7 to 10. Circa hung it better than 10. And it settles in the middle. It settles under 7. I think it was as low as 5 or 5.5 this week. So,
yeah, I'm seeing 6.5 right now.
They say Crowder's out. I guess Buffalo's got a pretty decent quarterback transfer in. You know, I don't know. I like Buffalo. I laid less than 7. I laid 5.5.
Oh, you did? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You're way shorter on Boise than the market.
Yeah. I lost. I had Air Force against Utah State. You know, they got down quick. I know that they came back. I think they were down 3 in the fourth quarter with the ball, and then they had a big turnover. I could have actually won that game. There's no reason that Boise's double digits at Air Force. I mean, you tell me, how's that possible?
Yeah.
I mean, Boise's they played like 2 games, I think. First game they went and played down at South Florida, and they got beat pretty good. I mean, they had some turnovers first game. Come back and they beat Eastern Washington. Big move on that game, too. That game went from like 24 to 32, Boise. Win by like 37. Now they're laying 10 at Air Force?
You made it 4?
There ain't no way. I mean, I don't know. To lay 9, it means you got to make the game like 12. I don't see it. You know, Circa, I think Circa had a couple of guys all made that lower too, and that got bet up. So I'm on the dog. You know, we'll roll the dice with Air Force again.
Yep. All right. We got weather in the Missouri game. What do you think here?
It's, you know, funny you mention that. I got a call from my weather guy. He says, you know, crosswinds, you got to be careful with that. Sellers, big question mark. They're saying he's going to play. You know, it's interesting on Sunday that I really wanted to play Missouri, but there's just no way I'm going to. I made it anywhere from 7 to 14 based on sellers. But now with the weather, you know, the game came down to 10. So if you get a chance to get, you know, you get an edge. You take 13, 12, you know, 12 and a half, 13. Game's 10, edge gone. So what are you going to do? So we'll see what happens with it. But yeah, it'll be some wind, crosswinds.
Yep. Well, your numbers have been fire. It's dynamite, just like the all-new Metallica station, channel 42 now. Mandatory Metallica, their own channel. Got to love it.
How about mandatory Priest?
No, get that out of here.
We should go one-on-one.
No.
Priest.
Rutgers. Here we go. So you've been right the whole time here with your numbers.
Big 10.
Rutgers is getting 3. You make Rutgers the favorite.
I did. I made Rutgers 2.5 or 3 against them, and I just don't see them being a dog at home. You know, I started this season out with Iowa. They got the quarterback in from one of the Dakotas. I forget his name.
Yep.
Granowski? Yeah, something like that. I didn't change their rate and come in, but look, Rutgers ain't played bad. They played the Ohio school, Miami, Ohio, but the Ohio game turns into a good win now. Look, they bet Ohio against Ohio State. The game got as high as 36 at Circa early, like Sunday or Monday last week. Game came 36, close 28. I mean, there's a lot of money for Ohio. So when Rutgers beats Ohio, it turns into a good win.
No doubt.
And I just, you know, I got Rutgers a favorite. I stand by it. I took the points, and I mean, but they still got to play it on the field.
Well, let me ask you a question then. If you made them a 3-point favorite, and right now across the screen, Iowa is 2.5-point favorites, right? Did you see a 3 out there?
I did. I got 3.
Oh, you got 3. So at this point, if you never saw the 3, would you take 2.5? Would you go money line? Would you split your bets?
Look, it always depends on the price. You know, it's real easy to say, I'll bet them on the money line. But if you're only getting $1.12 or $1.15, it ain't worth taking. You got to get a price. And I would guess at the 2.5, if you get anything better than like 20 or 22, then you just play the dog and roll the dice. It don't come. Sometimes I see people split it up. They bet half the points. You can get a cheap buy up to 3, and I know people say don't do it, but I don't think the total's all that high. So you could buy up to 3 for something cheap.
Yeah, and by the way, Iowa, like going back several years, they play in these kooky games that could end 21-20 or 18-17, you know, shenanigans, special teams. A team that I'm very intrigued by is Memphis. They're catching 7. Arkansas's offense appears to be the real deal. That quarterback is really, really good. I like this Memphis team. I made a case for them to win this, but their conference also is very good. They're plus 980 to make the playoffs right now. That aside, 7-2 high here for Arkansas?
Yeah, I made Arkansas 2.5. I think in Memphis, I kept that in my pocket last week on the show. I had a pretty big bet on them. I didn't want to jinx it. So I'm letting it out of the bag this week, so you know what's going to happen. But I took 7 twice, and it's up to 8. So
yeah,
I'll probably go in a little bit more on them. You know, I wasn't crazy coming into the year with that Reno quarterback, but they seem to be doing all right. And you know, once again, they went through Troy 28-7, but Crowder got hurt. And, Memphis +8. Why not? Home dog.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a lot. We talked about this a few weeks ago. There's no great teams. You know,
it's wide open. Good point.
There's a lot of good teams.
Yeah.
And there's probably 30 teams within 14 ratings points. 30, less than 2 touchdowns on neutral fields. So it's pretty much open. And I like Memphis this week again.
Okay, rivalry game, a blowout last year, 66-42 SMU. What do you think SMU TCU?
I think I laid 5 and it's up to 7 if I'm looking at the game right.
Yeah, correct.
I don't remember too many of the details. TCU definitely had they had a little down game last week. I think they might have been looking forward to the rivalry. And you can't knock that quarterback, that Hoover kid. Man, he's good.
Yeah, he's really good.
There was a look-ahead spot for both teams.
Yeah.
SMU did not play well, and TCU was like a huge favorite, didn't cover.
What did you make the Hurricanes at home to the Gators this week?
Right there. Well, there's 7.5 or 8, right where it is.
And then what do you do to LSU's power rating? They get 5 interceptions, and they only scored 20 points.
Yeah, I know. I got lucky there. I thought I was going to blow it. I passed the South Florida game against them. But this week, I think I also have that game right there. You know, with so many games, when you have your numbers line up with the board, I kind of got to skip through them because I'm not going to find nothing that's going to change enough for me to make a bet on it. So that's one of them. But LSU, that Nussmeier, he's one of the top quarterbacks in college.
Supposed to be, and their offense stinks.
Yeah.
No, well,
don't ask Kelly.
Well,
about it.
that's what happens when you pay the kid $4 million.
Yeah,
give the kid $4 million. What's he doing? He's out with chicks, booze. He's probably listening to your show now, saying, "Oh, am I going to bet on my parlay card?" So, you give these kids all this money, you never know what you're going to get. And that coach is insane. What's his Kelly?
Yeah, went nuts on the reporter.
Oh, he's nuts.
Yeah, he is. He apologized.
I love him.
Hey,
God bless him.
God bless him. Quickly, you've been in this racket a long time. You used to run the Palms with the Maloofs. We had Frank B in about how...
I saw him yesterday. I waved. I was out there waving, jumping up and down, people looking at me. Go ahead.
They do a great job here. I'm not trying to get you in trouble. What happened to the days of, I make a $100 bet, I get a couple drink tickets? Seems those days are gone.
Well, I don't know. It's a different game. It's definitely a different game. I mean, you got to be conscious to the bottom line. And, things get changed. What can I say?
What a horrible answer.
Well, what do you want me to say?
I want you to go scorched earth.
Wow.
I think they compare this place compared to most places. It's fantastic here.
Yeah. But I hear the stories. The guy bets $500. He's lucky to get a drink ticket.
Jeff Benson's on Twitter. So you're saying, come on in. Tell him talking to me on Twitter. Get a couple of drink tickets from the guys. I mean, they do a great job here, but the rest of the place, corporate, it's no good. They're watching the bottom line. They don't know what they're leaving on the table, by not taking care of their customers. You don't get the repeat business. People, there's no more, hey, go to that joint. They're really cool in there. You get that here. That's one of the reasons that I like being here. They put up 2 games. They put up 2 games next week, the big games. Penn State and Georgia, Bama. They hung those games already. I didn't see them anywhere else. I think they hung both home teams 4.5. I made them both a little bit higher, like 6.5.
Oh, did you? All right.
Okay.
But
you're the man.
You redeemed yourself.
Thanks for popping in.
Good close.
Pleasure. Got to go play some video poker now.
Please do.
10 spots.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3 to 1 odds. Nope. 5 to 1. Nope. 10 to 1. You're on.
I hate betting baseball. Oh, man. 1-2 last night. Loser with the Reds. Get shut out, 3 hits. Come back and win today, but I really like Abbott, but they lose 3-0. And then Dodgers, 4-0 through 5. Ohtani with a no-hitter. No, that's it. Let's go to the pen. Next thing you know, Phillies have the lead. I can't wait to ask Russo about that next week. Chris Russo, I got to tell you. He'll be on the program. He hates a tush push, and he hates going to the bullpen early and not letting a guy go. But it's... Just the Dodger bullpen. I know you said should have bet first 5, but Philly's coming off the clincher. It's incredible how bad these bullpens are. It really is.
It really is.
And then a winner with the Diamondbacks, and the Giants just avoided the sweep. They won 5-1 in extra innings. Yankees to win the series. Comes down to tonight. They've owned the Twins since 2002. See if they can get it done after the listless performance on Monday, coming off the Sunday night stink bomb. Rams, Eagles under 44.5. Baylor money line against Arizona State. TCU first half against SMU. SMU concerned about their defense, no pass rush, and also the slow starts. I think TCU jumps on them, wins, covers, and gets a little payback in a rivalry game for what happened last year when, again, SMU hung a 60-burger on them. Good luck, everyone.
All right, so I was in the same boat as you last night with that Dodgers game. Again, part of this is results-based, but honestly, we made a huge mistake yesterday, and that is, we just talked about this with Richie. Like, if he likes a game, he makes a team a 3-point favorite, but they're a 2.5-point dog. You take the points, you take the money line, you split up your bets. The handicap should have been Ohtani does not go more than 5 innings. The Phillies players were like out boozing that night. I mean, we saw that, right? At least a little bit anyway. And they did not have like a fully ready to go roster anyway. Like a couple guys got the night off. Bullpen, was exhausted. And it should have been, okay, Dodgers get on them early, and then I don't want to take my chances with that crappy bullpen. So that was, I think, a mistake by us to not additionally have them like in pocket for the first 5, and then maybe for a little bit for the game. But that was a loser. And for the second time all year, Paul Skeens gave up a run in the first inning.
Now, how about the game stays under?
For sure.
It's 3-1 in the third inning.
Right.
And the game stays under.
I had that first 3 under 1.5. So that's it. I mean, I kind of like the Guardians tonight, but I've been getting my head smashed in all year betting baseball, so I'm going to pass. It's a no play for me. And then I'm looking at a headline right now, again, updated here, that the 49ers are saying Brock Purdy has a chance to return against the Cardinals this week. I played this yesterday, and part of the reason why is, like, I'm pretty convinced the Niners offense will be fine with Mac Jones if he has to go in this game. And then the Cardinals had some guys get dinged up in the secondary on Sunday, but also, like, taking into consideration their competition so far. They played the Saints, tight game, kind of down to the wire. They played the Panthers at home, blown them out. What the hell happened in the fourth quarter? They have the ball, Carolina does, to come back down and win the game. So now they're priced in the pick'em range almost against the 49ers. Now I get it. No great shakes there, although the Seattle win looks pretty good. And then they beat the Saints last week. I just thought minus 120 was way too low for a money line bet on the 49ers.
Uh-huh. As I tweeted, Richie's voice is mellifluous. What a great tweet from back after this, that Richie sounds like Stan Valchek from The Wire. The Baltimore Police Department.
God,
that's not a good tweet. That's a great tweet.
Yeah. It's been so long since I've watched that show.
Oh, I love the first 2 seasons.
Oh, the first. I think season 2, and I know people who hate season 2, I thought season 2 was exceptional television.
Who hates season 2?
Oh, I've seen people say it was the worst season out of the whole bunch.
Oh, come on, it's the kids.
Oh,
it's
the kids.
Season with the kids.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
Yeah, come
Way
on.
too much with the kids.
Oh, that's outrageous.
Season 2 is dynamite. And it's, by the way, how many seasons do you see that? Like, you get all that, the first season, right, with that cast, and you're like, oh my God, I'm in love with the show. Season 2, they go to the docks, and it's essentially a brand new cast. And you're like, what the hell am I watching? But you know what? I actually like it more than season 1.
Here comes a hot take. The Wire, for me, is like In and Out. It's still very good, but there's so much hype, you could say it's a little bit overrated.
Oh, I've been saying that forever. I cannot put it.
I don't have it ahead of Sopranos,
Breaking Bad,
Game of Thrones.
No.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. Neither can I.
Can't do it. Great show. But all time?
No, it's not.
Not on those, not past those 3.
No, it's been surpassed. And it was never better than Sopranos. Don't kid yourself. Come on.
No. Sports, it's time to start getting paid for it. Better Picks, the daily fantasy sports app where your sports knowledge turns into real cash fast. Download the Better app. Pick more or less on your favorite player stats. Watch the action unfold. If your pick hits, you win. Right now, they got NFL kickoff new user offer. Sign up today, get a free $10. No deposit necessary. When you do deposit, you get up to $200 in deposit bonuses. NBA, WNBA playoffs, UFC, golf, and more. There's always time to have some fun and turn your sports knowledge into cash. Better's also giving you $40 for every friend you try to get to Better Picks. Head over to better.app, BETR, or download Better from the app or Google Play Store. Promo code VEASAN for your free $10 and deposit bonus today. Go get it. Support the sponsors. Help them out. Let's go.
It's a final in Arizona. Diamondbacks lost in 11 innings, so it stayed under. Again, total closed 8.5 or 9. Giants won 5-1. But you're feeling pretty good today if you had a Giants team total bet over, and they scored all 5 runs in the 11th.
Oh.
And then also you have, as we speak, the Braves now are on top of the Nationals 9-3.
That was scoreless in the 6th.
I think
believe
it was, or 3-0 after 5 or after 6.
Something like that. Okay.
Whatever. But so now the Braves are going to cover the way it looks. Every alternate run line,
wow.
And then the game flew over the total.
So Richie talked about it, and the numbers are up at Circa. Let me give you the schedule next Saturday in college football. USC at Illinois.
Brad Powers earlier bookmarked this. He said he wants Illinois to lose by margin this week so we can get a really good number next week to bet them against USC.
Indiana at Iowa. Notre Dame at Arkansas.
That's a damn good game.
9 a.m. ABC. Auburn at A&M. LSU at Ole Miss.
Wow.
Oregon at Penn State. And at the same time, Bama, Georgia.
That's at the same time as Oregon,
Correct.
Penn State?
Correct.
What time?
Oregon, Penn State's the night game. For 7:30 Eastern on NBC. ABC is Bama, Georgia.
Oh, God.
ABC's triple header is Bama, Georgia, Notre Dame, Arkansas, and is the LSU Ole Miss. That's their triple header.
Well, it's the best day. Look, I love the schedule this week. Next week is obviously better than that. Remember, Paul Stone came on in the summertime and gave just a beautiful breakdown on a Penn State bet against Oregon in this spot when it was, I think, Paul, if you're listening, remind me what the number was. Was it 3.5 or was it still 4.5? Because that's the number right now here at Circa 4.5.
Blackout, whiteout. Excuse me.
Right, and they're coming off of a bye. Meanwhile, Oregon is coming off of the Civil War. And what do they have looming? Doesn't Oregon have another big game like after that, I believe?
They go to Iowa, but I thought it was later on. And I believe that is also a night game. Well, at least they're hoping it's a night game. Iowa fans are, with some weather. I thought that's down the road, November-ish, but let me look.
Okay. Let me ask you this. If you had to make one bet right now on a team to win the national title in college football, who would it be?
Oh.
Because like you said, this is probably going to be wide open again this year. Would you look at Miami 16-1?
I would.
Knowing what we know right now?
Yeah. Defense appears to be real. Beck's great. And you also try to get the path, though, which I know Ohio State will make it. Penn State will likely make it. But I like their path to at least getting in the ACC title game, which should be enough.
Would you look at Oregon?
It's hard because they haven't played anybody. They're good. But the Oklahoma State win's impressive, but it's you get another cupcake here. That's an interesting spot. It's a rivalry game, but then what's looming on deck? Indiana at home, at Rutgers, at Iowa.
Okay.
They get USC at home late. That's the Oregon schedule.
I think
there could be something there, yeah.
I think, Lanning's really winning me over, but if you go back a couple years ago when they played Penix, I was at that game in Seattle.
Well, he just couldn't beat the Boar.
But I also thought he gave that game away.
Yeah,
he got way too cute, like on the 4. He would never take the field goal, and he just got way too cute, like on 4th and short, and I think it cost him the game.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, he's done a freaking awesome job taking over for Cristobal. And by the way, I saw something where I think it's this weekend. Cristobal had for 2027, he's got like 10 of the top 12 wide receiver prospects in for visits the same weekend.
Remember the documentary? It's so good. If Shockey said they could just keep like 25% of the local guys, they'd crush it.
They never lose.
They never lose.
Prime time next. Enjoy your evening. Good luck.